Welcome in, everyone. How's it going? And bottle time right on cue. Wow. That's good. That's good water. Got my bottle all cleaned out today. Okay, let's start on this. Yeah, thank you. I'm very happy with how the pose came out on this one. I put a lot of effort into that one. And now it's time to move them into their own group layer. That's not what I meant to do. Come on, CSP. And hide. Poof. They just got. They just got. And this background. Lower the opacity here a little bit. Trying to think exactly how I want to handle the background on this here. Because a lot of things are going to be not inked in. And so I'm honestly wondering if what I might do is just kind of paint the background in. Right, for once Jake was not first. Oh, the horror. So yeah, I'm gonna try my pause at just kind of painting the background in here. Oh, that didn't work as I intended. That's the same color as the paper. I mean, it's appropriate, but... Okay, yeah, I think this could work. You always seem to get a call right when I start streaming, or rather right when you show up, Leo. I suppose that's the life, though. Yeah, whether or not I'm a big fan of the actual levels, the Sonic music is very nice. No, I don't have any music from Sonic Advance in here, because I've actually never played those games. And Crayon Rain, for once not instigated by Jake. I do got Hug a Plush, though. The Vulpix, it hugs. The Vulpix has been hugged. We may continue. I actually need to pull up a visual reference for what an anthill looks like. Okay, I kind of get the colors from here. No, I know what an anthill looks like, but I need a color reference for it. Knowing what one looks like and being able to accurately draw it are two entirely different things. Okay, so I can take that, and I can take some texture brushes to it, so I just need to find the right ones. Maybe this. If I can get a little bigger. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of make a dark spot in it here. And try and blend that in. Thank you very much for the follow, Marvel. Welcome in. I am self-taught for the most part. Like, when I was in high school and when I was in college, I did take some art classes as electives, but I didn't actually start fully understanding how things worked and all that stuff until I was actually out here doing it. Art classes are a decent tool for beginners, but honestly, I feel like some of them, depending on your teacher, might hold you back just as much as they might help you. Because I remember in my college classes specifically, I had a couple teachers who were just like, no, absolutely not. You will draw the way that I tell you to draw and no other way. And you will only paint landscapes like the classical masters and you will do nothing else. There is no such thing as fun in art. They're that type. So. Thankfully, I think that art is a fluid enough subject that you can do it without needing to take a lot of instruction. Get some shading, or rather some blending in here. It's an anthill, it shouldn't look so rigid. And now I can try and blend that. Oh, thank you very much for the gift subs.
Has gifted 1 subs to viewers.
Good old Square Onion. Much appreciated. Is Kansas in the South? You're asking someone who sucks complete ass at geography. I cannot settle that argument. Oh, that's a subscriber goal that I just kind of set for, you know, it'd be nice to have 50 people, not 50, but 100 people who are subscribed to me at once. But yeah, that's all that goal is. But yeah, you might be surprised, might not be surprised, at just the amount of teachers who are like that, or like, no, the only true art that exists is the classical Renaissance, all that crap, and I don't care. You're not going to draw what you want. You're going to go out and you're gonna do what I tell you to. A little darker, a little more red. And you gotta remember, especially with some of them, they studied art, but not a lot of them had worked as an artist for many years, if at all. It's like, okay, yeah, I studied all this stuff and I know all this stuff, but I've never actually, like, taken a commission or haven't done so in years, and art changes. Especially with the advent of the internet, because you figure most of these people, like, hadn't... Like, these are the people teaching you who hardly know how to use a computer. And they just had no freaking idea what they were doing. Yeah, a lot of them also had the mentality where, like, oh, cartoon characters aren't real art. You'll never make money that way. And, like, seriously, they think painting landscapes is where the real money is. Not everyone gets to be, like, a New York artist with a gallery painting abstract stuff. Most people are making their money off of, suspiciously wealthy furries. Hi, hon. You snuck right up on me, didn't you? Hugga Plus shouldn't be off, but it might be on cooldown. Hi, Tim! Yeah, in all the classes, which, granted, I only ever took, like, 3 of them that were, like, actual art classes. The one I took in high school was the only one that I consider of any real value. Yay, battle time. And that was because the teacher actually did work as an artist and did, like, commissions and stuff, and she worked in a lot of different mediums. And so she would actually tailor her lessons and talk about things like how to do commissions and how to do commissions successfully. And that actually really helped me out early on, but that was about it. I wouldn't really call it a class, but I took her class as like a free study when she offered it. And I was At that point, I was more learning 3D stuff. So that's kind of what I focused on, but yeah. The major thing, I think anyway, with commissions is to be confident in your work and be professional in your communication. Probably the biggest piece of advice that teacher gave me, as far as commissions, that really stuck with me, was that try not to watch too much what other people are doing. Someone commissioned you because they want to see this in your style, not someone else's. And that really stuck with me, and as I continue things, that gets more and more prevalent, with like imposter syndrome and stuff like that. Yeah, one of the things, just kind of based on what Jake's saying there, that I've discovered over a fairly long career of doing this, consistency and reliability are great. Because if you're having a very rocky communication process and just having issues upon issues with whoever you're commissioning, chances are pretty good you're going to be wary of not commissioning them again. Where's that blocking brush? No, that wasn't it. I have a blocking brush in here somewhere. I just don't know where I put it. I think I know where it went. There it is. Okay, that is helping, but not quite what I want. So let's do... Oh, that kind of helps. Ooh, this is a little better, though. Now I'll move back to that blocking brush. Oh, and bubble time. Thank you, Jake. Alright, Jake, can you cool it with the crayons a little bit? I'm trying to read some of the chat logs, and I can't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry, I just got really focused and I wanted to catch up a little bit, and I looked over at the chat log and all I saw was crayon throw, crayon throw, crayon throw. So that's a little bit annoying when that happens.
Tiger Balls overnight just restocked. I knew you were waiting for that Fang.
Thank you very much. Someone remind me after the stream. Because I absolutely need those. Right now I've been using the North Shore Megamaxes for nighttime use, and they're okay for that. But yeah, it's not, they're not as good. That won't be seen. So let's do... Oh, that needs to be... There we go. This and invert. That's a little too dark, but it might serve as a good base. So you can build upon that. Yeah, honestly, there's a very high amount of this that is just, like what I'm doing now. This isn't something I was taught. This was something I learned through experience. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm putting down some base color for the grass. You can kind of see it looks like grass already.
Traffic cones are bad and evil.
No, Jake! Traffic cones are good and keep you safe. Yeah, Baby B, I think the issue with those, at least for me, isn't so much the capacity, it's the way that they fit. And that's honestly more important than capacity in most situations. At least, I think so. Okay, no, that's not it. So I actually like this rough texture here for the grass itself. What I'm doing here is more of where the grass kind of meets other places, and you see that kind of line between the grass and other stuff. Oh, is this folder? Okay, that's what that is. It's harder to explain than it is to just do it. At least for me. Scarborough sheep, the thing that I would recommend first would be to tell us what kind you're using now. Because that can honestly be the issue. Just the particular brand or kind that you're using. Yeah, I do still have the health bar up. I like the Tykables overnights. I've been waiting for them to restock. Because they're just my favorite nighttime diaper. But the issue, like, with wanting me to review them or something, I don't have that kind of, I don't have that kind of coherent thoughts on them right now. So I don't know if I can quite give you what you're looking for. Yeah, that's a bit much. That'll do nicely, actually. Okay, no seeing issues there. Wrong layer. Yeah, so Scarborough Sheep, it sounds like your issue is fit and material. I do recommend trying, like, maybe some medical grade diapers instead. Especially the ones that have, like, the cloth backing that are meant to be more breathable, because those are a lot easier on your skin. Okay, so given the rest of these colors, I'm going to do brown picket fence. Whoops, that doesn't fill all the way. Yeah, Catacobalt, I used that for a while too. It didn't work, unfortunately. So here's hoping it's different for you. Okay, go on that again. Nope, I need to make those thinner. Let's get that blended in nicely. But yeah, I can kind of see how things are already coming together from, you know, compared to how they were while I was just blocking in the grass. Sometimes you just got, yeah, you just got to tackle things step by step. Yeah, so I had the same issue with size as well. It really is follow the size chart, because a lot of times just like something just might not be clicking. Like there is such a thing as getting a size too big for you. I don't know if you can notice, but my brushwork was kind of going along to the beat of the music. You know, back on kind of the art class subject, I remember that the class in high school, the teacher for that, like, really did not want me listening to music while I was drawing, because she said that it was like, oh, all the experts agree that you're not actually helping your art when you're listening to music. I'm not helping it either when I'm getting attacked by crayons either. But I still, to this day, disagree with her. I think it does help. Not 100% of the time, but it does help. I've noticed generally a fairly positive effect when I am listening to music as opposed to when I am not. Okay, so now I'm going to take this blocking brush again. Actually, no, not quite yet. Where did it go? I just had it. There it is. Nope, that was the Bright Rush. I think this was it. Yeah, it was. Come on. Probably don't need to spend all this time on something that I'm just gonna... just a little patch of dirt. Redeem. Pro Crayon Tip. I feel like I've been giving these a lot for free. Let me think. I mean, there is the music one, because I do definitely feel like that's, it works for some people, but only for some people. Like, I think it's maybe an ADHD thing, where, like, I have it, and I have something to distract a certain part of my brain so another part of my brain can work, but it's definitely a thing as well where if you're really trying to learn something, you're trying to focus on it, music maybe isn't the best thing. Music's for when you're experienced, and it can really help you flow. I don't know if that's considered a program trip, though. Okay, here's one. Experiment. I don't care what you're doing, experiment a little bit. Like, with this one, I experimented a little bit on how I did the pose, and how I did the line thickness. They're also a little bit sharper. I wasn't as afraid to use harder edges as I was otherwise. And I think it came out really well. And so now in future works, I'll experiment with that a little bit more, using harder edges, and just a good, healthy balance of the two. Balance is key to everything. It's also good if you're doing something like this, and I'll end up having to do this a little bit later, and I'm kind of doing it a little bit now, where you've got the character here, but you also need to make sure that their colors are blending in with the background, or popping with the background, rather. And to do that, I colored her in first before I even started coloring in the background. Normally I'll do line art, and then color, but I don't. Yeah, One Step from Eden has a kick-ass soundtrack. God, actually, do I even need this? I might not. We'll see. It's also okay to stray from your sketch here, if you need to. Because sometimes you do, especially like if you've taken a day's break or something in between working on the sketch and the line art and the coloring, sometimes you will, sometimes you just need to step back for a little bit and examine things with a fresher view. I'm going to tone that down a little bit. Actually, let's do it this way. I just fucking lost my textures. There we go. I could actually use a bit more, yeah, a little bit more contrast on there. People who are able to juggle two entirely different art styles are kind of amazing, actually. It is so hard to... Oh, and thank you for the follow. It is so hard to juggle two styles. It's hard enough to work on just one style. I can't imagine having to deal with two of them at the same time. I actually do have several brushes here that are actually set where some of them have... Some of them are not allowed to use my pressure sensitivity. And I do that so that I can get certain ones that will keep their line width when I need them to keep it. I'm just running a little... I should actually run another one here. Also, don't be afraid to, especially with digital art, put guides on your paper like this. Or I guess not technically your paper, but yeah. That show you, oh, hey, this goes here. This goes to this exact height, etc. Stuff like that. In a lot of situations, I'm also very careful not to overuse my tools and rulers and such, because I feel like if I do, then the image is going to come out too mechanical, and I don't want that. That's not my style. Again, I just hide those. And I can blend these in with the grass real quick. That's not the right layer. Those get blended in with the grass. I just erase this little part here. these ones also get blended in with the grass here. What needs to be done here is I need to merge these two so I can shade them kind of at the same time. Whoops, wrong layer. We'll end up throwing on another layer of shading here, but I'm just kind of trying to do some of it manually so that I can make sure it looks proper. And this here is why I charge as much for backgrounds as I do for characters, because backgrounds can get really complicated, especially when I'm doing stuff like this. Honestly, I could probably get away with charging more for backgrounds. But backgrounds are really important, so I try not to overcharge on them. Let's get some highlights later. Yeah, I don't care for that. Okay, now I get to do one of my favorite parts, the bushes. Once again, I'm going to take color of her tail there, and I'm going to do this, and we're going to invert that color. This is fairly standard color theory here, where you're just opposite colors will make the other one pop. Okay, and then according to the sketch... have to figure out where to actually put that. Oh, no, wait, that's actually the perfect spot. Okay. Maybe not the perfect spot. So use the dark color as a base. I think you've all seen me do this quite a few times, but here it is again. And right now I'm just trying to refine the shape of this bush. That should about do it. So then our new layer. And here's where I actually use the green. That's actually a bit too bright. And I'm just sort of working my way up from darkest to lightest. And even then, actually, I think that's a bit much. So I want there to be some dark on this. And every time I lighten it, I take another quick little step over to yellow. Because with grass and stuff, That's a little too bright. Flying it out of my face. Because every time you go up a step here... I've gone too far. And it does get a little bit closer to the yellow. Okay, so that's that. I actually want to do this behind the tree. We're going to raise that up a little bit, because there shouldn't be that much showing on it. So even that, I might not do that with the tree, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for that to be showing down there. But I also do want to have one behind the tree here, because I need a bush. Bushes out like this. Creates a nice little depth. That's too far. There we go. Also, some of these I might want to... Sometimes I can overlay a little bit of a different color. You can change the hue. Work with me here. There we go. Okay, they're in a background, so they're a little less vibrant. Let's see, I think that's just about everything that I need on here. It does need to be shaded still. But because of the way I did this, it does not require a whole lot of shading. Wait, you're gonna kick the baby? I hope you're not talking about me. Azura will defend me and you will get destroyed. Yeah, shading always makes a picture look great, I think. Well, maybe not great, but it helps a picture a lot.
kick the baby.
Don't kick the goddamn baby.
Don't kick the goddamn baby.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so why is that not... Here. Sometimes the way I do the shading and stuff, it's hard if I need to go back, because I need to get the exact color, and yeah. Exactly, traffic cones for my safety! This is quite a bit different from how I normally do the shading, because how I normally do the shading is I'll turn everything, I'll turn off all the color, and I'll use that to really focus on the shape. But I can't do that, because if I turn off all the color here, I won't have any lines to reference what I need to emphasize the shape on. Thankfully, there's also not a whole lot of emphasizing on the shape needed. I'm just kind of adding color where color needs to be. And that's why I'm not using my normal brush for that either. I'm using a softer watercolor brush. And this one here is more part of blending, where I just kind of throw everything. I throw a shade on top of everything, and I just kind of lighten it from there. Oh, whew, neck popped. Make sure everything's coming out where it should. I'm on the right settings. Good, good, good. Another tip that I find is very helpful with shading, and I actually picked this up from watching cooking shows. In basically every aspect of life, or at least every aspect of creative media and whatnot, our brains crave contrast. Again, that goes the same for like when we're eating something and when we're looking at something. So generally, and again, to a reasonable extreme, contrast is very good, and you should try and have a bunch of it. You see, right now this picture looks fairly dark. So it is going to get lightened up. I'm actually going to use a different tool for that. So take a very big, very soft brush, and I start lightening up the areas that I think need to be lightened. And I'm not using just a white brush for this. I want to add a little bit more color, so I'm using a brush with a slightly yellow tint. Now that that's done and it's got a good amount of brightness, I can go and I can make some other points a little bit more brighter, should I feel that they need them. Like here, again, you're seeing where that yellow's coming in. It's not just a pure white or even an off-white. And you're getting to see what it looks like when I'm getting to see that part of the wood. Closer to the top of the screen here, it's also more okay to have higher light values and where the light would be directly hitting the object as well. Lighting is actually really tricky, and there's a lot of people that will specialize in it because it's a thing that requires so much time and so much energy to truly understand and get right. Generally, like, the beginner guide for lighting is pretty much, okay, pick your light source and draw everything from that light source. But as you get more advanced in it, you need to remember that when do you have just one light source? There's always something else. You need to consider the strength of those lights, their direction, and how all that affects not only the objects, but the other lights, and how other objects also affect light, even if they're not emitting light. For example, when I get to shading the character here, which is going to be really soon, it's not just, okay, cut this over here and then shade. You know, I'll explain it more when I get to it. But remember, we live in a 3D environment, and light reflects gently off other objects. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this entire background, reduce it down to a bottle time. Ah, good water. Thank you, baby bee. So, I'm going to take the whole background image, reduce it down into, because it was a folder, now I'm reducing it down to a copy of one solid image. And so we're going to take that, and we're just going to blur the hell out of it. Maybe not to that extreme. Let's try 20. Okay, yeah, that works, So we blur the hell out of it, and I'm going to apply a layer mask to it. This, rather than just, so allow me to create a depth of field effect here, and rather than deleting the entire, so the basic level of doing this would be to duplicate it and just start erasing the parts you don't want. But if you erase the parts you don't want, well, if you change your mind later, you can't really come back. And you have to be very careful not to erase the parts that you need. If you use an image mask, then you don't have to worry about that. You can add and subtract all you want. Let's see, now I can unblur this tree a little bit. I'm also going to add a little bit of shine to these. It's kind of amazing what a little bit of shine can do to things. Okay, actually should. Not quite done with the shading yet, it seems. Okay, and sometimes you get this and you gotta go in and blend it. There we go. That looks a little better. You'll find as well there's a lot of stuff where it's just you trying to determine, okay, that looks a tiny bit better, and just building on those tiny bit betters over and over and over. Art can be really tedious. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Art, with a lot of other things, is about practice. And a lot of people don't have the patience for that practice. But there's a lot of it involved. And that's true as well, Jake. You don't really want to be the jack of all trades, master of none. There's some things that people are good at and some things that they aren't. And using your talents to, either trade with them or get money to pay them is definitely a valid tactic. Like, I personally am absolutely terrible at music. I cannot compose music worth crap. And I've tried to put in effort in order to get better at it, but it's just a very steep battle for me, and I don't know, things just aren't clicking. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll appreciate the hell out of music, and I can tell good music from not good music. But I just cannot make it. Oh, I got pinged with something. We'll deal with it later. I'm also very happy how the undershirt and the skirt alls came out here. Ah! So many crayons raining from the heavens. Character shading, I find, is also more difficult than background shading, which is why I charge extra for one and not the other. Okay. Oh, well, thank you very much for subscribing on Patreon. I really do appreciate that. Patreon really is great for me in particular. It's one of the major reasons that I'm able to actually do things here. I thank you for following! More follows! Yay! But yeah, without Patreon, I would be struggling to do this, for sure. Okay, so here's kind of the thing I was talking about earlier. I believe it's called ambient occlusion or something like that, where other objects in the scene reflect light. And so here, we want to actually give part of this arm here a not shaded appearance. Helps it to appear more 3D. Use this sparingly. And stretch! Oh, that's good. And yeah, Prisma, I saw. I got the notification on my phone. Thank you very much. And I'm sure I'll probably see you in the Discord once the stream's over. What the hell? What the heck happened here? Did this background get moved? Huh? What? What actually happened here? What? Oh, wait. No. I think I see what happened. I know what happened. When I moved the character, the mask of that character also got moved, and so white stuff started appearing around the edges. That happens. In my opinion, what's the biggest nightmare of drawing characters? That's a good question. It really will depend on the pose. I know everyone says, like, hands. Oh my god, yeah, no ref. Yeah, no ref or a bad ref. I don't think that's what they meant, but that's definitely, yeah. Yeah, most people will say hands. I honestly struggle a bit more with legs and feet. But yeah, definitely hands are difficult. And I know that's just kind of the stereotype, but it's true. Of course, again, the specifics will depend on the character and what I'm drawing them in. Oh, actually, you know what? Another, probably what's the hardest is when I have to do two characters, and those characters are hugging, one's holding the other, they're interacting, and that's often very difficult. Yeah, shaded refs are not great, but in most situations are workable. But it does lead to... Your artist should never have to ask, what the hell is this? When they're looking at your ref. They should be able to understand it with very minimal effort. And shaded refs may look cool, but they're not... they're just not really fun for us to work with, especially if you have a complicated character. Let's see. So probably I'll be right back. I'm hearing some noise from the other room. And we're back. With doggo jingles. Good old doggo jingles. Okay, down you go, boy. Ah! Don't jump out of my arms. Okay, come on. There, my keypad wasn't working properly for a minute there. Nope, not quite the boo-boo keys. I just had a doggo. Doggos are better than keys, though. This. I mean, I have to agree as a dog owner that doggos are better than the plush, but I still love the fox plush. But yes, doggo. Whoops. Not too far there. If you're going to make the bangs of your character smaller, for a minor hairstyle change, you don't really need to get a new ref. What I would do is just make sure that you, after you've had it drawn once, make sure that you give that picture that you had drawn with the new hairstyle to any future artists so that they can see, oh, the hairstyle has changed in this way. As long as you point it out to them, you should be fine. I mean, I made the jingle by pawing at the dog's collar. Because fun. Yeah, the sound effects in this song are weird, and I love it. I should absolutely get on and play Spyro for you guys one time. That'd be fun. So, yeah, that's just kind of the thing with the refs. Like, it's okay to make very minor edits from it and tell the artist, like, yeah, so hey, this little part here is different. Like, I'll do that with Azura's ref, because I haven't been able to get the time to make her a fresh one. Where her hairstyle has changed since I drew her last one. So, I just, I provide another image to potential commissioners when I need to give a ref. She says, hey, hairstyle has changed, here's what it looks like now. And that's the major thing, like, you want to be able to provide to your artist, hey, this is what they look like visually. If you're not able to do that, please keep your edits minor. Like, really minor. Okay, I think the base shading is good. So let's get working on my ambient, or my soft shading as I call it. I just can't help it. Sometimes my pen will follow the beat of the music. Especially when it's a good track like this. Again, here, I'm also thinking of that ambient occlusion thing here, where we're just softening up some areas that were previously shadowed. Again, just remembering that these characters here, or character singular, exist in a 3D universe. Yeah, definitely let's not talk about the Twitter drama here. I've had enough of it right now. Head pats! Glorious healing head pats! This song actually reminds me of, like, because it gets stuck in my head every now and then, and what I'll do is I'll go and I'll ask Kazi, don't you want to be a good boy? And I'll just start doing that shit to him. And he doesn't know what I'm doing, but it's fun as hell for me. But you can see how this is softening up the image here. And that's what I like to go for. Yeah, that makes sense, Jake, because then you're noticing sudden movement. Yeah, I like to have a mix of just about everything in the soundtrack. I mean, I say just about everything, but it's usually pretty much like all games. Because that's what I listen to. Almost got it. That's a bit too much on the tail. Fix that. Okay, let's take colors back on and work from there. Alright, now we do the same with the highlights. Take that nice yellow. And find a decently big brush. I'm just going to add the lighting. Really make her blend with the background here. Make it feel like she's part of the scene, part of the same world. And then certain other little highlights can go in here very sparingly. Oh, thank you for the follow, Roar Party. Much appreciated. I hope you're liking how things are coming out. I like these little highlights along the hair. They're doing great. Oh, come on. Like this. Add the ears a little bit. That part got fixed. Good, 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 good. Okay, can't hear right now. Fair enough. I will type in chat then. Just a moment. There we go. Just giving it a final look over on the character here. Make sure that all the highlights are where they're supposed to be. Alright, excellent. I'm glad you can hear now. Long work meetings suck. I'm just kind of giving it my final once over here, seeing if there are any details that I need to include that I missed. Highlights are looking good. Add a little bit more here. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Yeah, that seems to be like 90% of meetings as far as I'm aware. They just kind of do it as a power trip type deal. But it depends on the office and the field of work, I guess. I remember back when I worked an office job, granted it was a call center job, I liked having meetings. Because it meant it was time off the phone. That was the rough. Let's clean up the background a little bit. Oh,
Anonymous
wow.
viewer has gifted 5 subs to viewers.
Very appreciated, Anonymous. Thanks a bunch. Okay, I need to do some dance. Go. Okay. Any last second changes before I send this off for you? Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean with the kittens. Yeah. I haven't had a kitten in a very long time, which is why there are no scratches on my arms. Alright, let me get this saved and sent out. Do. I'll check that one later. Alright, email with that has been sent out. Give me just a moment here to... I can try and sketch one other commission before I close out the stream today. We'll have to go make dinner in about half an hour, but we can fit in some more work. How do I spell this damn word? Good enough. You know, that's always going to remind me of a story from back when I was in high school, where someone had brought in a kitten. I think they found it like abandoned in a bush or something, and they were nursing it back to health, and they were taking care of it. And because no one else could watch it, they got permission from the teacher of one of my classes to bring it in. And it was in like a little box and stuff, and it was the tiniest, little cutest kitten. And, you know, everyone wanted to play with it and wanted to pet it and let it climb all over them. Anyway, that kitten stayed in there for like 2-3 days, I think. And like a day or so after, someone had brought in, I don't know if it was their kid, a kid they were related. Anyway, someone had brought in a baby. And instantly everyone's attention shifts from the kitten to the baby. And I am just the only person sitting there who's like, yeah, I don't care about that thing. I want to pet this kitten. This kitten is way cuter. Just more proof that I'm a furry, I guess. Yes, absolutely. I do not like human babies at all. Kittens are absolutely superior to human babies. Yeah, a cat or dog or of any age is actually superior. Bite me on that one. Okay, that one's on there. Okay, like that. Alright, with that. Being a little experimental in the pose with this one. So I'm trying to do a perspective here. Alright. Talk to you later, Row Party. Have a good dinner. Let's do like this. You can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to draw here. Maybe I should put this on a different layer. I don't do this with every commission, but sometimes I will just kind of do a very, very quick, rough sketch of things, and then refine that sketch from there, just to make sure that I got that I've got a good direction to go in. So the sketch might end up getting further refined. But so far I do like where it's going. Arms can be a real pain sometimes. I do not love GIMP. I've used it before and it's just not... It's not good. I mean, okay, it's fine for being super basic, but it's just... yeah, CSP is way better. Alright, honey, you getting hungry? You are? Okay. Alright, Ajura's getting hungry and so am I, so I think we might actually call it here. So, but yeah, CSP is Clip Studio Paint. It's the program that I use, and even though, unfortunately, I think they're switching to a subscription... I don't know if they're switching to a subscription model or if it's like you buy it for like 2 years. I think it's some sort of subscription model. Anyway, even though they're switching to that, it's still way better than Photoshop. So yeah, I'm gonna go make dinner and all that. I don't know, but there's a possibility we might do more game streams tonight. I might get Prop Hunt together or something. I don't know. We'll have to see how everyone's feeling. Thank you for reminding me about the Tykables. Alright, I am off.